The Dershow.
Government announced today that it has concluded that Harvard violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. And clearly it did. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The evidence is overwhelming. By the way, the evidence comes not only from the government, it comes from Harvard. Harvard, to its credit, commissioned a report on anti-Semitism at Harvard, which concluded basically, without using legal jargon, that they violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. They discriminated massively against Jews, applied a double standard to speech regarding Jews, applied a double standard to curriculum, made it very difficult for Jews to attend classes without having to be blocked, and to speak up in classes. And many Jews, as a result of the fear of violence, had to stop wearing the kippah, had to stop wearing Stars of David, and had to hide their identity. I know from personal experience of parents of students that this is going on. But Harvard itself has essentially admitted it. It admits that the Divinity School, and this is the worst, a school based on the teachings of Jesus, who is a Jew, that school has become the cesspool of anti-Semitism. It not only tolerates anti-Semitism, but read the report. It teaches anti-Semitism. It encourages anti-Semitism, not the old-fashioned, religious anti-Semitism. Jews killed Christ. No, none of that stuff. It's, Jews are genocidal. Jews support a country that has taken all the land from others. And supporters of Israel, Jewish supporters of Israel, are complicit in genocide and in horrible acts. You cannot be a Jew at the Harvard Divinity School and expect to be treated normally. Shabbos Kestenbaum had to bring a lawsuit, and he prevailed. It was settled in his favor. And he was a student at the Divinity School. The only school that's comparable to the Divinity School at Harvard is the School of Public Health. It turns out that the do-gooder schools, the schools, Divinity, Public Health, Education, and some of the programs, the programs based on gender and race and are the worst. They're the ones who, on October 8th, following the massacres of October 7th and the mass murders, blamed it all on Israel and said it's their fault. The victims are to blame. Let's blame the victims. Let's not look at the perpetrators. Let's not condemn the rapists, the beheaders, the murderers. Let's condemn the victims, the families of those who lost their lives, the families of those who were taken as hostages. So, and we're seeing that from Harvard. Tomorrow, I'm debating the former president of Harvard, Larry Summers, on whether it's a cute title. Did Harvard have it coming? It's a little akin to the title of my book, which will be out in a couple of weeks, called Trump to Harvard, Go Fund Yourself, which I used as the title for this program, because the administration sent a letter to Harvard today saying, essentially, if they fail to comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, something which I worked on myself during the first Trump administration. I helped draft some of the provisions of Title VI that applied to Jews as well as to others who are discriminated against. If Harvard doesn't comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, it will lose its federal funding. Go fund yourself. And, it can afford to. It has an endowment of $53 billion. I don't know what Mandani would do with Harvard's endowment. Harvard is a billionaire, so probably it shouldn't exist. But it's very, very wealthy. On the other hand, it does enormous good in research, medical research, cancer research, Alzheimer's research, child disease research. I know some of the professors, I know some of the students. And the medical school is one of the best in the world. And the research that's being done there in science and in technology should be funded. But the Divinity School shouldn't be funded. The public health school shouldn't be funded. The critical race theory shouldn't be funded. DEI shouldn't be funded. Intersectionality shouldn't be funded. The lack of meritocracy shouldn't be funded. Harvard's motto is Veritas. And I have to tell you, in the last 10 years, it has become very bad.